if you're disappointed by one no, life is going to be not fun for you, because life is like about universe saying no to some of the ideas that you're sharing. All right, secret number 6, not interested. What do you say when somebody says, I'm not interested in your product? I don't think this is interesting for me. What do? This almost feels like a personal rejection to you. Like, what does that even mean? Like, is he rejecting me? Or is this person saying that I'm not good enough? Sometimes people think like that too, right? They personalize a rejection of a product for right now. So essentially what they're saying is, understand this, they are not rejecting you. They're not even rejecting your product or service. They're just saying that this product is not good for me and interesting for me right now. It might be interesting for them tomorrow. Maybe it was interesting for them 3 months ago. But they're just saying today, this is not interesting. So we don't need to take it personally. You don't need to take it that they don't even like your product. They might even like the product. Like tomorrow, something happens, all of a sudden they are ready. Right? 3 months ago, they were ready. But today, at this moment, they are not ready. That's all it means, right? So let's look into the psychology specifically. Rejection is a fundamental fear of human mind. The human mind is afraid that, oh my gosh, I will not be accepted. What if I'm not accepted? And all of a sudden, when somebody rejects your product and say, I'm not interested, you're like, it feels like a potential mate rejecting you, right? You want to mate somebody and you're really interested in them, and you're making an advancement. All of a sudden, no, I'm not interested. All of a sudden, no, I'm not interested. All of a sudden, you're shrinking, right? People are shrinking. Business owners are shrinking. Salespeople are shrinking. If you're trying to sell, if your team members are shrinking, what it means is it feels like a personal attack to them. So they feel lost, confused, rejected, dejected. So we want to go beyond that by understanding clearly that they are not rejecting you. They are not rejecting you at all. They are not rejecting your product at all. They are just saying that this product right now, this service right now is not good for me. So we need to have a preemptive solution for this, is that create interest in advance. So in other words, when you are in a sales conversation, make sure that you're creating interest in advance. So because at the end of the conversation, they're like, oh, I'm not interested. And all of a sudden you lost a sale. So the best way to handle this is to create interest in advance. Like, for example, like you would bring in, like you'll ask them, what do they need? What do they want? What are the things that they're looking for? What are they really, really looking for? Understand that. And after you understand that, what you do is ask them, hey, does it sound interesting to you? And make sure that they are interested before you even give your sales pitch. Because I talked about switch in a different video, the concept of switch by Dan Heath. The concept is like to influence the subconscious. Your subconscious is like an elephant. The elephant actually, it's like so powerful. And there is this conscious, which is a rider, which is tiny, but the rider can influence the subconscious, influence the deeper level emotional side of your brain. But the rider is tiny. The subconscious can throw away the whole thing, right? If you don't know how to handle, if you don't know how to ride on an elephant, and asking the elephant to turn left or right, if you don't know, then it can reject you. So the same way, their subconscious can reject you if you don't know how to ride it. So that's why you need to create interest in advance. You need to create interest in advance. How do you do that? You actually find out what do they really want emotionally? What do they really want emotionally? What do they really want? What motivates them? And then try to connect your product or service with what really motivates them. And once you do, then there is no way for them to say, I'm not interested at the end of your pitch, okay? So that's why you need to qualify on a tactical level. You need to qualify your prospects' needs in advance. Do they really need a service or a product that you're offering? And if they don't need that product or service, don't waste your time. Just move on, right? There are so many people that you could be selling to. You don't need to necessarily sell to this particular person. So qualify in advance. Okay, I mean, this is what we offer. Like, early in the discussion, make sure that they understand and you understand that they need this solution, right? That's qualifying. Second thing is 5 follow-up rule. This is something from Harvaker. He shared about this idea a long time ago. If people are not saying at least 5 times no, or not interested, then essentially you haven't even started sales, especially if you're selling something worthy. If you're selling like candies for like 50 cents, then yeah, Probably if they say they're not interested, don't waste your time on them. But if you're selling a high quality, high value, high ticket product, high value product, then that product or service, then all of a sudden, if they're saying no, essentially they're saying not now, not clear yet, not sure yet, don't know whether it's going to work for me yet. They are just saying something yet, right? So you follow up with them, talk to them, figure out, help them, follow up with them at least 5 times. Until you follow up with them 5 times, you haven't even sold. So there are like some of the premium clients that I work with who pay me between $25,000 to $50,000 yearly for my business strategic training and business strategic coaching privately. And I have some people, probably I have followed up with 9 or 10 times, not in a desperate way. Oh my gosh, I really need to work with you. Not like that. Like, what's going on? How is it going? Do you need any support? Let me know if you have any questions, or like something. Like, I'm not asking about sales. I'm just following up with them. So essentially the first conversation, they're like, I need some more time, or I need to think about it. I'm not interested right now, but I will get back to you. But maybe next year, something like that. So I constantly follow up with them, stay in touch with them until they are on board. Especially if I'm interested in working with them, I consistently follow up with them. And if, at this point, I have other people following up with them, especially some of the VIPs who are doing like $10 million to $100 million. They want to be treated specially. And some of them I'll be texting or sending WhatsApp messages and stuff like that. Some of the premium clients, right? So some of them I'll be emailing. Somebody from my team will be emailing, following with them and things like that, so that we make sure that we get them to an yes, even after 5 no's. So if you're disappointed by 1 no, life is going to be not fun for you, because life is like about universe saying no to some of the ideas that you're sharing until it sees that you are absolutely committed. Once you're absolutely committed, universe will conspire with you to move forward in your goal. So the next one is, keep in mind, I told you this already, they're not rejecting you. They're not rejecting your thing, rejecting your product. It's a delayed sales. It's a delay. There's a slight delay, right? It's not a denial, it's a delay, right? So there might be a budget issue. There might be a time issue. There could be something else. I don't want you to feel like feeling lost. Oh my gosh, why this person didn't buy from me? Okay, so with that, you'll be able to handle the not interested category. Make sure that they are interested in advance. Make sure that you get their buy-in initially before you even make the offer. When I say buy-in, not that like, oh, I'm ready to move forward. Not that kind of buy-in. Buy-in that they are emotionally invested in it before you make the offer. So when you make the offer, they would never say, I'm not interested. People never say, I'm not interested to me. It never happens to me, fortunately. Probably hundreds of conversations that I had over the years. Almost nobody has told me that I'm not interested, because if you get that, that means that you haven't gotten enough buy-in from the customers. You're talking to yourself. You're not talking to that particular person's particular problems or needs. That's why they're saying that. So tomorrow I'm going to talk about already working with your competitor. I'm already working with your competitor. Why would I get from you? I'm working with your competitor, and why should I work with you? Why can't I continue working with them? It's going to be hassle to move from them to you, from other company to your company. It's difficult. I don't need it right now. I don't need it. Like, can I stay with them? How do you handle that? Okay. So for today, understand that it's not about you from an strategic action standpoint. Today, I would like you to think about this. It's not about you. It's what your customer gets. Always remember that. So if you remember that, then you wouldn't have this problem of I'm not interested, right? Because you are sharing your product, your features, your things, your service, the special, the guarantee. None of this is relevant for them. Share what is relevant for them and their value, and based on their value, you would make the offer, and all of a sudden they would not be able to say, I'm not interested. So make that as a habit. You should definitely talk about your product and your features, but that should come in as a small module of the bigger package of the customer problems and customer needs. Okay, I'll talk to you tomorrow.